Okay, let's do a real quick vid on Retroboot Extreme with the FFmpeg core. Sorry to disappoint fans of my great, awesomely interesting Space Invaders videos, but I am random, and this is random. So this is actually a pretty neat core. It doesn't get a lot of publicity. RetroArch has had FFmpeg support for quite some time. It's rarely included in a lot of, distributions or whatever, or derivatives of RetroArch. Retroboot didn't include it early on. I don't know if GenderBent includes it by default, and this is just something that Magnus RC included. Regardless, it's pretty neat if you have it on whatever RetroArch thing you're using. Basically, think of it as a really bare bones Kodi. Similar media support. They probably both use FFmpeg or the same video LAN-ish set of codecs anyway under the hood. But pretty much anything that's 480p will work. AVI files, MP4 files, MKV files. With 720p, I was able to get most things to work, MP4/MKV, except that it wouldn't do the X265 or the HEVC files. I assume that that's just not a supported configuration either because the hardware codecs in the GPU for the PlayStation Classic either don't support that combination of resolution codec, or this core is actually doing it all through software, in which case the PlayStation Classic's pretty wimpy. That makes sense. At some point you're going to run out of horsepower to do that. So anyway, it lets you watch videos, and here's how that works. Load content, start directory, ROMs, video. I've got a public domain video file. This is a .ogg. I don't usually use these, but this is a neat public domain file, so thought I'd try it. It's a little jerky. I don't know anything about OGG. Maybe it's a little bit more CPU intensive than your standard X264, but whatever, it works good enough. You can push up, fast forward, CPU. So quick menu lets you pause and start. Volume was a little too loud, but basically you can navigate. You can jump ahead by pushing up or right, depending on how big of jumps you want to do, the interval that you want, and obviously left or down if you want to go backwards. It basically just lets you play. I have no idea how it deals with subtitles or different audio channels. May or may not work. Your mileage may vary, but if you have a bunch of video files, it's probably worth testing it. It might be kind of cool if you have maybe some video game footage or a lot of the retro stuff. There's nostalgia. I've seen collections of ROMs where people took the time to download commercials from the 80s and 90s related to their game or their console. Who knows? I mean, kind of cool if you wanted to throw that in with your ROM set. Maybe a bunch of nostalgia stuff is there. Or you're freaking out because your Fire Stick went down and you have to watch a video. I don't know, but might be useful. It's cool regardless.